Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is an action-focused fusion of the large-scale battles in Koei Tecmo's Dynasty Warriors and the expansive world-building of Nintendo's Breath of the Wild. From combat to cooking, here are 7 things you need to know about Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. The latest installment in the Hyrule Warriors series, Age of Calamity combines the fast-paced 1 vs 1,000 battles that characterize Koei Tecmo's Dynasty Warriors series with the story, lore, setting, and characters of 2017's Breath of the Wild. The action-focused take on the Legend of Zelda franchise shows a very different side to Hyrule, with its hack-and-slash gameplay featuring multiple new story elements and 2-player local co-op. Age of Calamity is set 100 years before Breath of the Wild, and explores the historic events that were touched on during that game. Players will learn more about Calamity Ganon, the primeval force that has endured through the ages, and witness firsthand the efforts of the heroes of Hyrule to hold it at bay. The game's developers have collaborated with Nintendo's Zelda team on everything from setting and items to personality and dialogue.
So that's why it's a good thing it's gonna be us!
So we also get new insight into relationships between some of Breath of the Wild's most iconic characters. Many familiar faces and heroes of legend make an appearance in Age of Calamity as playable characters, each with their own abilities and playstyles. Alongside Link, other characters include Princess Zelda and the 4 champions from Breath of the Wild: Mipha of the Zora, Daruk of the Gorons, Urbosa of the Gerudo, and Revali of the Rito. Formidable Sheikah warrior Impa is also playable, and some of Nintendo's amiibo figures are compatible with the game, unlocking in-game weapons and other items. As a Warriors game, the action is focused on combat, comprising of light and heavy attacks alongside a host of unique weapons and character abilities. Mowing down hundreds of enemies requires deft use of multi-hit combos, parries, some paragliding, and even occasional shield surfing to maneuver around the incoming hordes. Larger foes have weaknesses that can be exploited by choosing the right tool for the job, but you'll also need to get creative as some missions restrict the allies and weapons available. True battlefield mastery also requires the use of runes, elemental powers, and the ability to swap to other friendly characters on the fly to utilize their unique movesets. In between battles, you'll navigate a map of Hyrule that has a familiar feel to Breath of the Wild, but shows the land before Calamity Ganon's rampage. Many of these serve as battlefields, so you'll be exploring the area while also holding off hundreds of enemies. Digging around also reveals plenty of throwbacks to Breath of the Wild's towns, hideouts, forests, and temples. Unlock new locations to visit to upgrade your character's tools and weapons. Unlike Breath of the Wild, weapons don't break, and you can sacrifice any unwanted weapons and resources at the blacksmiths to upgrade your primary ones, boosting their stats and potentially adding new abilities, status effects, and unique properties depending on what you use to upgrade them. Breath of the Wild's cooking returns with a combat-flavoured twist on recipe creation. Gather specific resources to prepare dishes that not only replenish health in combat, but also offer elemental protection and advantages against some of the bigger foes on the field. Link's commitment to cooking his meals is matched by his enthusiasm for consuming them. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity launches on Switch on November 20th. A playable demo is available now, and for more on Link's latest adventure, including 54 things Breath of the Wild fans will love about it, stick with IGN.